have you been able to keep the business running this long?
First of all is having an effective strategy on how to execute every part and every level of the business, because there are stages to this business, and having a great team. I don't do everything. I can't do everything.
You can't do everything.
Yes. I delegate a lot. That's why I've been able to have other businesses, including the new interior design company I have now.
Yes, yeah.
So what I've been able to do is I break my big goals into tiny, achievable tasks.
Welcome to Omon's Couch, an entrepreneurship and career talk show where we'll help young entrepreneurs and professionals reach their full potential. My name is Omon Odike, your darling host, and I'll be bringing you amazing guests who have seen it all to educate and inspire you with their beautiful stories. Let's go! Our guest today is an award-winning entrepreneur named ELOY and La Mode Entrepreneur of the Year in 2019 and 2022 respectively. She's a driving force in the fashion and tech industries. She was recently appointed by the International Trade Center as Nigeria e-com brand champion, leading digital and e-commerce expansion using innovative technologies in small businesses across 16 countries. Founder of African Designers Mall and Brandbox Africa, she connects global markets to fashion and art entrepreneurs, emphasizing empowerment and individuality. As creative director of ADM Projects and design director of Grayson Living, she pioneers sustainable and artisan-driven fashion and contemporary interior designs. She's none other than Ebele Udoh. Let's welcome her to Omon's Couch. Hello. Hi, Ebele. How are you?
It's so good to be here.
Great to have you.
Thank you.
You look amazing as always.
Likewise.
Fashion.
You know.
Have a seat. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
Wow. Ebele. Wonderful meeting you the other day at the ELOY Awards. And it was remarkable to hear your story and your journey. And I'm sure our viewers are really, really excited to hear from you today. I mean, you have been in the industry for, I think, how many years now?
6 years.
For 6 years.
Yeah.
So it's still relatively young in the business,
Yes.
but actually thriving.
Thank you.
So now we would like to hear your journey, how you started this remarkable journey from being a fashion person, now going into tech. So please tell us about your story.
So I've always been a fashion girl from school, secondary school. I've always been like the social prefect, the DSP, you know, anything had
So
to
what
do
school
with.
is that? I have a feeling where it will be. But where is that?
I schooled in the East, actually.
Okay.
Yes, Creative Minds Foundation, the East. Yeah, and my university was in UNN.
Okay.
University of Nigeria and Soka as well.
Okay,
Yes,
a lot of people come from there.
Yes, yeah.
It's
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So I've always been the fashionable
Person.
one. Yes. And growing up, I loved styling. Even my mom, when she's going for August meeting and all those things.
Yes, August meetings. They do that a lot in the East.
Yeah, so it was really something I loved doing. So, but you know, school happened. I was a medical student at some point. My dad is a medical doctor. My mom is a nurse.
Wow,
And,
the medical field, everyone.
Yeah, medical romance. So I'm sure they met in the hospital or something.
Wow.
So yeah, it was really great growing up. And I studied medicine at some point because everybody thought, oh, she's very brilliant.
You should read medicine.
My dad, you know, you can just be like your dad. But when I was in my third year, I changed. I moved to economics.
Third year?
Yeah, yeah.
Why? You just found out that you couldn't do
it? Was not just me.
You didn't like it?
Yeah, it was just
wasn't
pleasing my parents. I wasn't doing it for me.
And I think a lot of people have that same story.
Absolutely.
Where they do things not for themselves, but because their parents say so.
Yeah, but I have amazing parents and they let me be me. Yes, they understood. And I moved to economics, finished as an economist, and did my NYSC in Lagos. And that's at Etisalat
Okay.
But that was Etisalat before it's
Line
Line Mobile.
yes.
So that was my first initiation into tech.
Okay.
I didn't study tech or anything like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I was for the first time they needed to have like young people in their customer resolution center.
Okay.
That handled the back office. So they always had like experienced people. So for the first time they needed people from NYSC. And they had like impromptu test. Yeah, like they needed like 5 girls or 5, sorry, a mix of the girls
people and guys, yeah.
Yeah, they did like impromptu tests. The top 5 people, they took them.
And you're one of the top 5. So, excellent.
So that was
beauty
how,
and brains at the end of the day.
You know, yeah. So thank God.
Yes.
So that was my first introduction into tech.
The
yes,
tech world.
Exactly. So I started like resolving high-level problems for like
high-level
clients. Exactly.
High network customers.
Exactly. So start resolving those problems. But I couldn't stay. I always knew I was going to have my own business. Yes. Yeah. After that, I went into, I worked in another company that was also tech. They provided tech solutions, software solutions for banks, you know, and also oil and gas. So I handled the banking sector. So that was the main entry into tech, because I handled like software solutions. I had to study about these solutions, what how to optimize them, how to use them in an environment like in the bank. You know.
Okay, so was your role marketing or more?
No, it wasn't marketing.
Tech experience.
Yeah, mine was more like I go into the system. Like for example, First Bank. Okay. I study their tech environment. Okay. Know if they're underusing the tools they have there, or if they're optimizing the usage. Exactly. Them, yeah. So I study their environment and I prefer a better solution, or how they can use the one they already have, or we sell a new solution to them. So that really, you know, so that really helped me to understand a lot of things about
how technology
works and how it can enable your business to bloom. Yes. So my first business started from a place of pain and experience.
You would like to hear more about that.
That's African Designers Mall. So it was a personal experience between my friends and I. So whenever I traveled or whenever my friends see what I wore when I'm in their city or outside the country, they will always want to buy something I'm wearing, you know, but they couldn't buy online.
Just like today, I said, I love what
exactly, yes. So you can always go to my website and order it. Exactly. So now I said, okay, how can I infuse? I love fashion. Everybody always knows. Or when I'm going to work,
you're speaking to the choir.
You know? They go like, who is that? Who is that?
To the choir.
You know,
I love fashion like mad.
Yes, I love fashion. And so I said, how can I infuse fashion and tech to enable these designers to sell globally? Because people love what I wear. It was from a personal place, you know. Exactly. So I'm like, how can we have all these beautiful designs, you know, and like nobody knows them. Or even if you know them, you have to come all the way to Nigeria to buy them, to go to their stores. So I said, you know what? I spoke to a couple of people that I know that in tech, and my elder sister as well. She also works in the bank, and then my boyfriend, he's also in tech. Now we're married, so we talked about it.
Your boyfriend?
Exactly.
Okay.
So
that's a good one.
He's always been in my story. Yeah, he's always been in my story. Yeah. So
I was getting a bit worried when you mentioned boyfriend, and I know you're married.
He was my boo then. So yeah, so we talked about it. I spoke to a couple of people that built websites, and I told them what I wanted. That was another struggle. So you wanted to create
like a marketplace.
Yes, so it's a marketplace. I didn't want to keep inventory. I just wanted it to be like a tech platform where people just go and put their products. Put their products and sell to the global market.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's how the ADM started. Now, my second business, which is the
How
brand
old
box.
is ADM now?
6 years.
6 years,
yes.
And you've been thriving since then.
Yes, it's been an amazing journey.
Wonderful.
Yeah. My second business was birthed from the struggle I had from ADM.
Again.
Yeah, so building ADM, it was tears, it was pain.
Wow.
Yes, because a lot of people do not understand how to build a seamless website. That is very was very
difficult.
poor. It was poor, and the payment gateways were not working.
Wow.
You know, it was so difficult to just have.
So the user experience was
poor.
Hell.
It was hell. And they were not understanding. They felt I was asking for the impossible.
I don't understand what you're saying.
So, you know, so I had to, exactly. And I like what I like. It has to be what I want. So because of that, I had to like speak to a couple of software developers that were not in Nigeria to be able to get what I wanted. So from there, I said, you know what? Since it's a struggle, and a lot of people in my space were having the same problems. They didn't even want to have a website because of the struggle. It was they didn't understand how to put everything together. So I'm like, okay, great. It's a great
didn't give up
opportunity. I didn't give up at all.
You knew what you wanted.
It was terrible. It was bad. Because when I even launched ADM, my website was not even live. People came for my launch at Intercontinental.
You just had to launch.
I just had to launch. The website was not live. That was how pained I was. But at the end of the day, I still said, you know what, we're going to go live. They need to understand that the website is not live, but I'll give them a demo of what we're working with. I did a demo on our launch date.
So how will people get to buy things? I mean, after the demo, so they won't be able to shop.
Nobody shopped until we had to relaunch again. But it was a subtle, but it was digital. Yes, yeah, it wasn't like a physical launch anymore. Yeah. So that was it. You know, I now launched Brandbox Africa. That's now helping.
So what's Brandbox Africa?
So Brandbox is a company, technology company that is helping other businesses to go online and sell seamlessly online. So build websites and apps, you know, enable people with digital tools. Yeah.
So what you're telling me now is after you experience the problems with the capacity, people having the capacity to build a flawless website that gives you end-to-end beautiful user interface, and people, the user experience is awesome and they're able to buy. You now created a company that would actually solve that problem
for other entrepreneurs, because
people, including yourself,
including myself. So I also service my own business.
You don't suffer any problem anymore.
I don't.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I have an end-to-end solution. Yeah, for my e-commerce company.
So how's that one going to?
It's going amazing. We're planning to launch an app where even businesses can now create their own websites on the go.
So they customize, so you have a template kind of thing that need to customize according to the business.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So looking at your journey now from the fashion world, well, how you never used your economics for anything?
Nope.
Oh, you just started off with fashion immediately and went into tech. And that's it. Wow. That's an interesting story.
Thank you so much.
So how has it been? You've talked about some of the challenges now. Is that the only challenge you've had concerning the business?
No. When I launched African
And why
Designers
did you think,
Mall,
another thing, why did you think fashion? Some of our audience that are listening to us now will be like, oh, what is she talking about? She's talking about fashion, she's talking about technology. Why did you think that the two of them you'll be able to marry both of them and create a thriving business at the end of the day?
So like I said earlier, I knew tech was the world we were in. You know, understanding tech gave me the idea of what I could achieve. No matter the industry, tech is infused with every industry right now.
True.
Fashion, cooking, everything has to do with tech.
Everything is online.
Exactly. So I also like to follow a lot of international brands that are focused on using tech to enable their platforms. So I felt like, oh, we don't have anything like that here, so why can't I do the same? It's a male-dominated space, but I didn't care, you know. So I really did my research, what I could achieve with tech. You know, first of all, having a platform that I didn't have to keep inventory, how the structure will work, you know. So tech now is enabling fashion in so many ways, especially having a global audience, having global shoppers. You know, using things like digital marketing to push your business without using the normal traditional way of doing billboards and on the world is seeing you.
The world is seeing is a
it's
wider
technology.
reach,
Exactly, it's a wider reach on the go. Yes, you know, having your website optimized, so many things. You can look at social media. Most people don't even have physical stores.
Nobody has,
and that's technology.
Yeah.
So that I think I had a very early exposure to what tech can do for me. Yeah, so I capitalized on that to be able to Etisalat background, and also the other tech company I worked for as well. Yes,
that's true. And so it's very interesting. I can see even in the world today, the Gen Zs and all the young people, they're actually embracing tech. You can't even.
That's all they know.
That's all they know.
There's nothing else.
I think it's our generation and above that. We see tech nicely, but we struggle with it.
From a far place.
Yes, well, we struggle with it, but some
about?
of us embrace it a lot.
Yeah.
And it would be wonderful to know that everything about what we're doing in terms of business, in terms of trading, in terms of anything, it's actually enabled by technology.
Absolutely.
And the earlier we embrace it, the better for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy now that we've embraced technology, especially in Nigeria. Because when I started, I had, like you asked the question earlier, what challenges did I face? When I launched AfricanDesignersMore.com, Nigeria wasn't even ready for e-commerce. Brick and mortar was the order of the day, you know?
Nothing else. I'm like, what are you doing?
People are like, how will I put my card online? So it was difficult.
I experienced that with one of my
difficult. Yes, it was difficult to get people to shop online. But good thing is that, so I tried to partner with a lot of bigger brands, like Mattel. They sponsored me when we launched. Swarovski. So all those brands that are very credible.
Credibility
so
to
they
your
helped
brand.
They helped me to build that trust, you know, and
at the early
stages.
It wouldn't last for too long because there was time just actually worked.
I shut down my business after a year.
I can imagine.
I shut it down because at some point the people that were onboarding did not understand the need for their brand to be well finished. So because we don't keep inventory, we don't get to see the products before they are shipped. So quality assurance was really low. So before they get on the platform, there's 7-step checks that they go through before they onboard.
So that's what you have now on your platform. Or you had it then?
I had it then, but it wasn't as rigid as now. Okay. You know? So we wanted everybody to be there. Upcoming, established, everybody was there. But people started shipping substandard goods.
And destroying your brand.
And destroying my brand. So at some point, we started...
your strategy.
Yeah, we had to start refunding customers in the UK, US.
Wow.
It was that bad. After we finished the refund, I shut down for a year.
To understand and
I had to shut down because I almost gave up.
I can imagine.
But my mind was strong to push me.
Like you could still do it.
Yes,
do it differently.
Exactly.
And I think what I have seen that you did was that you now targeted known brands.
Yeah. Not just known brands.
Quality brands.
Yeah, quality brands.
Yes.
So the thing is, it's not even about the name anymore. It's now about, I see the finish. We literally now choose the brands we put there. We have to vet you, because we're trying to push African brands to the world. It's not just about Nigeria now. So anybody across the world can literally go.
Because I saw you cover 16 countries of the world.
Yes, of course.
We
have a brand from from SA, from Kenya, from Ghana. So we're taking it one country at a time. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So that's what we're doing. So that way we're having like different country representatives in each country to be able to manage the business there. Okay. Yeah, so that's the strategy.
So are they your eyes and your ears, or you still have to go to those countries to do quality checks?
So SA, I had to go to South Africa. At some point, I had to go to Ghana to speak to the designers myself. But notwithstanding, we still have like country representatives that are there that are top in fashion and understand the business as a fashion. Do you understand? So because it's not just about the clothing, it's about the whole, packaging, delivery, the ecosystem, the people that are doing the work, the quality assurance. Someone has to be there to see that everything is going well.
Before they even ship out.
Exactly, before they ship out. Yeah, exactly.
Countries.
Exactly.
Interesting. So how do you make money? I'm sure our viewers be like, she doesn't have a store. She doesn't own the merchandise herself. She just does, she talks to other partners and they put their products on her page. So how does she make money? So how do you make money?
So how do I make money? That's a good question. So make money by commission.
Yes.
And also ADM will also have our own clothing brand called ADM Projects. So that's where I design the clothes. And
so you started designing.
Yeah, I design as well.
You haven't done that from the beginning.
Oh, from the beginning.
Oh, from the beginning.
Yes,
okay.
Yes. So this brand, it's a sustainable brand that focuses on wearable art. So it's more. So it still has a story. It has a story because
where do you call it wearable? I mean, I've seen the structured elements. I've seen the outfits. Not all I can possibly wear, especially the ones with the holes.
Oh, with the holes. Okay, yes.
Yes.
They are edgy.
Yeah, they're very edgy. So, but very beautiful stuff.
Thank
very
you.
classy stuff.
Yeah.
I must say, and congratulations to that.
Having
your own brand, I think, speaks a lot of volume. You can't sell other people's brand without selling yours when you have the absolute passion.
So I think that is what has kept me where I am in the business, because it's not just about having an e-commerce platform, I know how the fashion business works. You know, I know the intricacies of how a brand should be, the finishing, the everything. So people always ask, how have you been able to, you know, keep the business running this long? You know.
So how have you been able to keep the business running this long?
First of all, is having an effective strategy on how to execute every part and every level of the business, because there are stages to this business, you know, and having a great team. I don't do everything. I can't do everything.
You can't do everything.
Yes. I delegate a lot. That's why I've been able to have other businesses, including the new interior design company I have now.
Yes.
So what I've been able to do is I break my big goals into tiny achievable tasks. Like, for example, now influencer marketing is huge, right? We have established good relationship with
some
influencers who
but
actually
really
create a collection.
Money?
Yeah, we do. We create
because
a collection with.
Okay.
So.
But I think it's because it's fashion. Not every influencer can influence every product.
No. So
I guess you have to select.
Yeah. So that's the trick, because if you look,
that's the art.
Exactly. Yeah. If you look at the global markets and influencer marketing space, bigger brands like Louis Vuitton, Prada, Farfetch, Neiman Marcus, nobody's been opening new stores anymore. People are going more online and focusing on digital marketing tools like influencer marketing. So why don't I establish the same thing? You know, I don't have to recreate the wheel. I can learn from people that already are paying so much
to do it, and they have done so well doing it.
They're doing so well. So the trick about influencer marketing is understanding who is in your niche. You can't partner with a chef for a clothing brand, even though sometimes it works, depending on how you tell the story. If it's a fashionable chef.
Yeah, okay.
So sometimes people say, oh, that influencer marketing doesn't work for them. Maybe they are not doing it the right way. You have to know.
So you have to understand
how to study the influencer you want to use. Know the kind
of story you want to portray to be able to get to the end goal, which is sales at the end of the day.
Exactly. And there are different types of activations for influencers. You have to know what you want. Do you want publicity, or do you want conversions? Do you just want people to know your brand? You just want to be known. So different influencers are for different results. Exactly. Yes. So that's another thing people need to understand when they are trying to.
And you seem to have understood it very well.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
That's interesting. So, how would you see this market? Is it? Would you say it's just starting, or you think it has a huge potential that you haven't even scratched the surface?
You mean the e-commerce space?
No, the ADM. Yeah, the ADM business.
ADM is a work in progress. I'm so proud of that brand, because what we are building, I won't say me because we are a team. Yeah. What we are building is for Africa, right? It's space. It's, people usually call it Farfetch of Africa. You know Farfetch, right? Like all these brands sell. So for us to be affiliated with such a brand means we're doing something good, right?
Exactly.
You know, we are even in talks with partnerships with them at some point as well, you know, and other e-commerce places around the world. Yeah. So the thing is, being able to curate and build a platform that can tell our true creative story without cutting corners. It's beyond
just wealth.
Yes, it's beyond just wealth, because there's so much talent.
Telling the African story.
Yeah, there's so much talent here. You know, that people already have a bad
idea
about a reputation. Oh, things from Africa are not well finished. They're substandard goods. But no, if you spend money on my platform,
you should get value.
You will get value for what you're paying for. You know, we don't cut corners. Like, oh, because you're a big name, you have to be there. No, you have to pass the process.
You have to be big name, but
good quality stuff, finishing. You know, there are a lot of big names that if you open the back of their clothes, it's shit. I'm sorry to say that word, but
don't worry, I know.
You understand what I'm saying?
So I've been there, done that.
Yes,
it's not about the name.
It's not about the name.
But I think a lot of them are getting extremely conscious now.
Yes.
Of the finishing, especially with fashion.
Yes.
A lot of them. When I started with some brands, I would like, what is
What
this?
is, yes.
In fact, the surface is so beautiful. Then when
Inside
you go
is, yeah.
even to show you how rough it is, it actually affects your skin. When it's rough, you can tell they haven't finished the edges or something. But a lot of them have actually found that
people
are selecting.
Yeah, people are selecting. Yes, they are.
They wouldn't wear your brand if you don't finish your clothes well.
And also when your audience is a global market, they're already used to well finished. Exactly. So if we have to match up, we have to come correct.
Definitely.
Have to come,
So in fact, I would say that your entire brand, whether the brand box, but mostly the AGM company, is actually doing a lot of things. It's not only making clothes available, African clothes and accessories. I also noticed accessories and
art, actually, yes. Yeah.
Of Africa, known to the Western world. It's also doing something like improving the quality of the things we're doing,
absolutely,
which you cannot buy. And it's not intentional, but by your service, it has to happen.
It has
because
to.
the only way that people can buy the stuff. So in time, you're changing the mindset of all the entrepreneurs in the fashion industry.
Absolutely.
To know that they have to take quality very seriously. If not, they will not be, because they will not operate in the global market.
Yes.
Join us on Omon's Couch, where inspiration meets action. If you're a remarkable entrepreneur or a career giant with a unique story to share, we want to hear from you. Become our guest on Omon's Couch and empower others with your journey, experiences, and valuable insight. Use the link provided in the description below to apply for yourself or nominate someone who deserves to be on this show. Let's inspire together.
Some brands that reach out to us and are not able to get on the platform, maybe because of they didn't meet some criteria. We kind of put them in the right direction, educate them on what to do, the branding, the finishing, exactly the packaging. So that way they're also improving their brands. And they now work towards that standard to be on the platform, and they're always grateful. They send us emails. Thank you so much for putting us in the right path. Even if we're not there now, we look forward to onboarding with your brand.
Wow!
So it gives me so much happiness.
That resonates with exactly what I mentioned. That indirectly, you're actually improving the quality of products and services that we actually do for the Western world, or we share globally, not even just the Western world, which is so amazing.
Thank you.
So you set out to solve one problem, but you're eventually solving multiple problems.
Yes, exactly. And by God's grace,
which is fantastic. Through fashion and technology.
Exactly. So
and by God's grace, you're going to say something.
We hope to have like a production hub. And like on
production of fashion production.
So in case brands that might not know how to produce well-finished products, we can produce for them.
Wow!
By God's grace.
Wow, that's going to be a big one.
So
they have their designs.
They have their designs.
You just roll it out for them.
Absolutely.
But right now, you're actually rolling out your own personal clothing line.
But not on a large scale.
Not on a large scale.
Yeah.
Okay, but why not on a large scale? I guess you are limiting yourself, really.
Well, I'm not. Like we have some ADM projects. We have some brands that retail outside the country, so they have particular quantities they want. So we produce for them, and the retail, in Russia, in the US, in the UK.
So I think the most interesting question here is, setting up the e-commerce platform is one thing.
Yeah.
How do you get to collaborate with these foreign and international companies that not only give you visibility, give you global presence and global recognition, but also improve your brand in terms of the wealth you can also create with your company? How do you get connected to them?
So first thing is doing your own work. It's not about searching. Do your own work.
So it's not like everything was already made or people gave you the information firsthand.
So what I did with African Designer as well is I took time to build a brand. So when I started reaching out to brands,
you'll be worthy
they check
of
back and see what have you done,
your history.
Exactly, just like how God does. What do you have in your hands? I can improve.
Yeah.
So I wasn't. I'm like, nobody hands you things, or people don't just give you favors out of nowhere. You have to have something you're working with. So I made sure the structure was in place, the foundation was in place, the team was in place. So when these global people,
and you had a good track record for them to be able to see.
Yes, exactly. So I made sure that I'm playing in that space, so that when they are seeing, because people are always watching.
Yes.
People always watch.
Yeah, the second person saying that today on the couch, that people are watching. And you think, and always do your best, because people are always watching.
That is the focus.
And they will judge you for what you
the
have
focus.
done.
Do what you can with put your best in what you do. So that when
No,
you're not running
corners.
after people, even when you do reach out, they can see that you've done your work. Nobody's doing you favors just because they know you or you're pretty lady.
Oh yeah, fine face.
You know,
I'm gonna say
they can
that.
see what they're working with. You know, brands have reached out to us. Oh, I mean, like Ecom Connect, for example, International Trade Center. They reached out to me. They're like, oh, we see what you're doing in the e-com space. We've vetted you for so long. How? I didn't know they were vetting me.
Yeah.
You understand? So they've seen what I'm working with, like the e-com and what I'm doing in the space in Nigeria and in Africa,
So
you know?
That takes me to the next question, which you are already answering. How did you become the e-com brand champion in Nigeria?
Okay.
And I noticed there are other champions in different countries like
yes.
Russia and the other places.
Yes.
So how does that come about?
So
or how did that come about?
So International Trade Center, they created this platform called Ecom Connect. It's all about building the digital space for entrepreneurs in different parts of Africa.
Oh, for Africa.
Yes. So they
Is
look
it an African organization?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's an international trade center that is focused on improving African business.
Oh, okay.
So now Ecom is the tech part of it, where they improve African businesses using digital, new technology and digital solutions. So what they've done is they identify like change makers in the Ecom space and tech space in each African country, and they make them champions to be able to spread the word and empower entrepreneurs in that space using digital solutions.
Okay.
Like I educate people about how to move their businesses online.
Technology? Do they?
Yeah. So
what did they create for you?
So there is a community.
Oh, the community.
So you have to join the community.
Okay.
You know, I have the community on my bio. People can always join from there. We share useful tools. You know, sometimes you can even travel to different parts of Africa to meet like minds, you know, entrepreneurs. The amount of connection in there from different African countries is amazing.
It's amazing.
So that alone will give you an opportunity.
So even for the viewers, are you here listening? If you want to set up an e-commerce business, go to the link on her bio.
Exactly. Or ecomconnect.org.
Oh,
ecomconnect.org. Or Ebele Udoh. On my link tree, you can see it there as well.
Yeah.
You connect with different entrepreneurs around the world that are doing great things. You do collaborations. That's how you really meet people, you know.
Of course.
Opportunity. You know, be in the right
place at the right time
and have the right mindset as well.
To know when the opportunity is actually there.
Yes, and prepare for the opportunities, you know. When you're praying for stuff, you have to prepare. So when it comes, you catch
know how to grab it.
Yeah.
Grab it everything.
Grab it.
Well done.
Thank you.
I am saying again, this lady is a bundle of knowledge, beauty, and brains. You can't take it from her. I mean, I love women who are in tech. I mean, I just love the concept of women in tech. I mean, I share the same sentiment with you. I actually launched several years ago a platform moving my brick and mortar business, which is consulting, into the technology space.
That's amazing.
And I struggled to.
Of course,
and I thought it was going to be this was a wonderful solution. People will definitely like it, and of course, it will just like spread like wildfire. Wow, it was a wake-up call for me. Into the first 2 years, I was like, what am I doing?
What's going on?
What's happening? I thought the people would, job because it was enabling people to get jobs all over Nigeria and Africa, the Great Jobs NG website. So I share your sentiments. I understand what you could have gone through, but I didn't give up. I stayed there and kind of tweaked the strategy.
That's amazing.
And yes, I shift the strategy for what it was before, and I turned it around to make it something I felt people would need. And now it enables other parts of our business and contributes to the bottom line at the end of the day. So yes, you can actually have those. If I would technology in Nigeria, you definitely will have that. Even if a new product, a new platform is being launched today, it will still go through at least 2-3 years of teaching problems.
Of course, yeah.
Nigerians will not embrace it, but later something will click
they will.
Just spread like wildfire.
Keep doing it. So the thing is not just about launching; it's about the solution. You know, solution you're providing, who you're providing for. Just focus on those people. And those people make your business bloom, really.
Definitely.
Because you can't sell to everyone.
Well done. Well done. So have you been able to navigate the whole business life, your personal life?
The balance.
Yes, have you been able to balance it all? Because I'm sure you travel a lot too.
Well, I travel, but not a lot lately because since COVID, I've not traveled a lot.
Okay.
Yes, but yeah, I used to travel a lot. I'm married too.
I know.
I travel so much.
You can't travel so much.
So balance.
So welcome to our world. But it's not limiting you. Marriage is not limiting you.
No, it's
It's
empowered
just
me.
exactly.
Yeah.
So people to not to think that now she's married, that her business is gonna go down. It's not going anywhere.
It's even like
it's more.
It's improved.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you're not having a more balanced life.
Yes. So balance was something I struggled with because I'm a workaholic. And I intentionally.
Is there any successful woman that's not a workaholic
like,
now?
I didn't even have time for anything, but I had to intentionally create time, you know, and I started learning how to delegate duties. Yeah. Like I said earlier, I was doing everything. I was the customer service, I was the logistics manager, I was the operations manager, I was everything.
Of course, but even though
I had people,
you still had people.
Yeah, I had a few people. But I did not trust them to execute because I'd shut down. So I was so afraid to
come out again and get a
so
huge
what I had
break.
to trust, I had to, build a team that, that could ride with me, and I intentionally started, creating time for self-care. Because I have to be alive to do this.
Exactly.
Right?
We all have to be. We can't keep pursuing business. I think most women especially, because we always feel we have the superpower to do it all and fix everybody. And we don't fix ourselves. But I'm so happy that the narrative has changed. Everybody's speaking about self-care, taking care of yourself, because we feel that we can do everything and we'll never break down. And there have been a lot of stories of women who have stroke, women who have cancer, just all the terrible things you can imagine, or just dropped down and died out of exhaustion. Yeah. And I think it's time for us to put a foot on the pedal to say, it's enough.
It's an intentional
we have to take care of ourselves. Yes.
It's an intentional.
And it's still a work in progress, at least for me.
Me too.
We haven't perfected it at all.
Me too. Because now I say, you know what? Sundays, I don't do any work. My phones are off, self-care, family time. So it's an intentional decision I've made to balance out put people in place, every now and then, everyone gives me like a report of what's happening here. So I do more like an overall view of what's happening rather than being heads-on operations. So I kind of move back a bit from operations and just focus on growth and strategy. Yeah,
so
that's what I've done.
Yeah, I think because it's a difficult. It's easier said than done.
It is.
I can tell you for free.
It was hard.
Yes, but to do. It's if you're intentional, you'll get some.
Yeah, you get somewhere.
You'll get somewhere.
Yeah,
that's true.
And not being afraid, having a great mindset. I'm, kind of trusting people, letting people run, and you watch them and guide
them. Yeah. But what do you do when they fail? I'm just wondering.
Well,
and really fail.
For me, failure is a need for growth. Is a need for something.
Not for you. I'm talking about if your people.
If they fail, it's part of me. They are me as well. Because we're the company in general.
Yes.
If they fail means we have work to do there.
A lot of work.
Damage control.
And you have to learn. Yes, there's a lot of damage control.
Damage control.
You learn through the process.
But if you don't fail, we won't find a solution. So I might shout, but it's a learning curve for everyone. Yeah. Like one time we had a major issue. A customer ordered something from a brand in Ghana. And delivery timeline was 7 to 10 working days. And
that's your SOP already.
The item did not ship until 3 weeks. The customer sent us emails, and my team, they were saying the client has shipped the brand from Ghana. And what sending email, it was so bad. But at the end of the day, we realized that the Ghanaian designer did not ship yet.
Why?
She just only sent us products like they've shipped. And so now, what it taught us was,
another step.
Exactly. What we did was now integrated DHL's API. So as you're shipping, we're getting the tracking, and customer can track on the go.
Okay.
So that solves the problem.
So when you don't ship it doesn't show.
It doesn't show.
So everybody's
expectations. You can't fulfill. Exactly. So now expectations of both the designers and the customers. So it's a solution. If that didn't happen,
you wouldn't have created something that's more
API.
long lasting.
Exactly. So it's a learning curve.
Yeah, that's a beautiful one. That's a beautiful one. So you're seeing every disappointment as a blessing at the end of the day.
I see it as an opportunity to learn.
Yeah.
No matter how bad it is, an opportunity, you must learn something from every failure.
I think I'm also learning.
You must learn something.
I'm learning something.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm sure you're enjoying this episode already. I would like you to take a moment to please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and leave your aha moments in the comment section below. We would love to engage with you. Okay, let's get back to the show. What would you advise the young aspiring entrepreneurs to do if they want to go into this kind of business of setting up a tech company, maybe to enable maybe fashion, maybe to enable interior design, or anything that they want to do? What would you encourage them to do? What are the first steps so they don't make the same mistakes? At least just something to kickstart. And the second part of the question is, would they require funding to do any of this thing, to enable any of these businesses?
So the first thing I would say is, I mean, money is important. It's an enabler, right?
Definitely.
But it's not all you need to start a business.
Was it required in this type of business at the beginning?
E-commerce is not as expensive as before. You know, now you can have you can build a website on, let's say, example, Shopify. Exactly. There's a free version, right? But you also need to understand that starting a business, you need to know who your market is. That is key. Before you even choose a product, you need to know, who do you want to sell to? What do they need? Because people just follow the crowd.
The solution.
It must be a solution, yes. Because you can decide to sell something like crop top in Kano, just because crop top is popular in Lagos.
Yeah.
Right? So you need to understand who your market is, what they need, where they are. You know, what kind of products they need. Where do you need to find them?
Why?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that will help you to start any business, even if it's not e-commerce. Right? Because even if you want to do digital marketing for your e-commerce, like for example, you have a website to sell clothing. Even if you want to do digital marketing, you have to direct your ads to a particular age grade,
targeted
location, you know, female or male.
So you have to filter
geographical
exactly before you even start doing
exactly.
Making
so you need
payments.
So those are the mistakes business owners make. You launch a product, then you start deciding, who is going to buy it? Where are they?
The fact, no.
So you need to figure that out first. Do your
research,
feasibility study, have a business plan. You know, have a goal, have a clarity of what you want to do. Don't follow the crowd. Because wigs are in vogue, and sell wigs. Everybody, if I buy 100 wigs, it will sell out. Then you shut down. You don't have a strategy. You don't know who you want to sell to.
You don't even know why
you don't even know why you want to sell the hair. Because you have to tell a story.
Yes, it has to have a story.
There might be a story around, why you want to sell, long, straight 100-inch hair. You know, that kind of thing. You have to have a story to it. So there's always...
That makes it authentic and makes people follow your brand.
Yeah, you have to... be solving a problem for someone.
I think that's a major thing.
Yes.
Solving a problem. Whenever you're solving a problem, there will always be a need.
Yeah.
There will always be it will always create a niche for you at the end of the day.
Focus on like you said, the niche. You can't sell to everyone.
Yes.
Find your niche. Focus on your niche. Your niche will make your business successful. That's
that differentiates you from another person. Interesting.
Yeah.
I hope you've heard a lot of interesting things from the small bundle, I will call her, she's actually like a bullet, with so much information, so much insight.
Thank you.
And she's doing extremely well and thriving in the market space. Don't think it's impossible. She's shown you that even with fashion, you can reinvent it.
Absolutely.
So others are talking about fashion and creating the store, having their products, having their what do they call it, their merchandise on their mannequins and all. But she thought differently. I don't need to have a store. I don't need to have the merchandise myself. I can actually create a business that can generate wealth, that can spread beyond the shores of Nigeria into Africa and beyond. And she created a website, or I'll call it, not even a website, a marketplace that enables sales across different customers.
Globally,
And it's a cross-functional thing for me.
Yes.
It's not just only Africans sending their product. I believe with time, she's going to also bring...
we even have...
Oh, you already started bringing your products, products from outside the country through your platform.
We even have like different African brands that are not in Nigeria that also want to be on the platform to sell their products to Africans as well.
Wow.
So it's like that.
The ecosystem is huge.
It's huge, yes.
So it's an endless possibility.
Yeah.
You can dream it, you can do it, and you can make it work.
With the right mindset.
With the right mindset.
Yeah.
And God ultimately would seal it for you. You've heard it all, my viewers. And I'm sure you understand what it means to set up an e-commerce business. I mean, e-commerce business have different formats, but the most popular one I think most of us really understand is the marketplace type of business. E-commerce business where we actually launch products online and sell to consumers. But one of the tricky things that most of us need to know, especially setting up a new e-commerce business, is understanding that you have to be in it for the long haul. There's no shortcuts. You cannot, it's almost impossible to say after you launch today, you will be be very wealthy the next day. That can come with some magic and some luck, but in the real sense of the word, when you launch, it takes time. You grow from one level to another. So please be in it for the long haul and don't think that you can make quick money as quickly as possible. Another thing is you have to have the passion for it. You have to have passion for what you're going for. I know this word is kind of underrated now and overused, but the truth is if you don't have passion, it's only passion that can see you through the tough time. It's only passion that will keep you there. It's only passion that when it even shuts down, that will bring you back to that idea and that goal. So you must have a passion. And please do not be like the bagwagon because it's raining. It sounds fashionable. It looks nice. Somebody else is doing extremely well. Then I must do it and I will do it successfully. It doesn't really resonate and it doesn't really count. Another thing you have to also take note of is sometimes you may require funding. Not all businesses require funding, but especially for technology, there are a lot of free sources for different types of platforms you want to create. So understand the technology that you will require. Understand what you really need. I would always advise, and I think that was something I actually learned in the very hard way when I launched my own product. I went for a very expensive platform, very expensive solution, and expecting that, in less than 2 years I'll recover and even start making profit. No, that's a big lie. So I learned it in a very hard way. So do not make that mistake because I could actually have gone for cheaper solutions, free sources, start, understand, learn, tweak as you go along. Then once you start making a reasonable amount of money, then you can now have a website that could make more sense than what you actually started with. Last part, one thing that you cannot overemphasize for a successful entrepreneur, especially going into the e-commerce space and even any space at all, you must understand what you're doing. You must understand what you're doing. You must know whatever you're selling, you must understand the target market. You must understand the niche you're going to create. But even before that even happens, you must be solving this problem. You must be a solution giver or a solution provider. And for you to be able to identify the solution you're solving, you must do your research. Research what you're doing. We're not talking about going to Harvard and go and start researching one very serious thesis or document or program. Just whatever you want to do, just ask questions. People have been there. There's nothing on this earth surface that has not been done before. When you remember that there's always source for information and they are just out there and they are extremely readily available because right now, the world is now a global village and everybody is so connected and information is all over the place. But remember to know how to search between the right information and also the wrong information so you don't make mistakes. So I hope you've had a lot of good stuff today and I hope you're empowered. Ebele, we are going now to the fun part of this segment and we're going to be asking you some trivia questions and I can't wait to hear what you have to say.
Okay.
So let me go with the question. What is the fear of flowers called? What is the fear of flowers called?
I have no idea.
Try.
The fear of flowers?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not afraid of flowers, so I don't know.
Exactly. So the answer is anthophobia.
Oh, anthophobia. Okay, I've learned today.
Oh, yes.
Will that be all the question
is actually for learning. No, that's the only question.
That's
the only question. So thank you so much, Ebele, for
you.
coming, and I enjoyed every bit of it.
Thank you
and I
so
hope
much
you
for
also had
having me.
fun.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks
and
for
I'm sure
teaching me
our viewers
a new thing.
Yes, we learn every
today.
day. We learn I actually just learned it today myself.
No
So well
problem.
done. Well
Thank
done.
you for having me.
Thanks for watching Almost Couch. I am sure you are eager for another inspiring story. So click here to watch another episode or click here to subscribe. I will see you in the next episode.